Yes. Love
The
this
show
music.
that wouldn't die. We're in our 42nd episode, Kappa.
Mate, it gets me pumped
42.
up every time.
Isn't that unbelievable? Have a Beer Guest a Year. The show that should have died, but didn't.
It will never die, Ian. Never.
Do you think that we'll still be, when the world's back to normal, COVID has disappeared, we'll still be here doing this?
That's the thing. It's not getting back to normal. We're dead men.
Well, I suppose that we've got the built-in. Normally, products have built-in obsolescence, but Have a Beer Guest a Year has a built-in feature to it, which is that as time moves on, we get more and more years to in the bank.
It's really it's a real supply and demand type podcast or stream.
We might well end up in a situation where we've got to just release one episode a year.
Yeah,
and it's going to be the previous year.
Now, Ian, where is everyone tonight? There's only 7 people watching.
Oh, come on! Surely we've got more. Surely
it looks like there's more people in. I don't know.
Maybe it's all the picnics people are going to be having. They're preparing, keeping the powder dry.
Oh yeah. Got it.
Well, we've got Mark drinking Jesse Road Pale. We've got Daniel throwing shade on Stone and Wood. I don't know.
Oh, wow, Daniel.
Not really. Craig's drinking Jasper Ale that he bought the day before the takeover. Peter's drinking Captain Morgan. That is a bold move on a Thursday night, drinking Captain Morgan.
Oh, Pete, I could go some bloody... You know what? I could go a Captain Morgan and Coke with lime. I could go one of those.
Actually, Captain Morgan, soda, water and lime. I think that would be
that'd be nice.
Nice and refreshing, particularly on a summer's night. I was criticizing Captain Morgan, but if he looks like a man who would have a good LinkedIn profile. He'd have a strong LinkedIn game, Captain Morgan. We've also got Mickey's in here as well.
Nice one, Mickey.
Yeah, we've got drinking Campfire Imperial Stouts from Exit. Oof. That sounds excellent, Mickey. Please do add a more comprehensive review.
Yes,
Clint's in drinking Bodriggy Pale. Just had some... Maybe about probably 6 weeks ago. It was tasting pretty good, actually, the Bodriggy.
When it opens back up again, I tell you what, if you just want to sit at a bar and have a drink, Bodriggy have that new bar built on the front, and it is...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is so good. It's like an old school bar at the front of the brewery, and we should have probably everywhere will be booked out, but if it isn't, we should have a little catch up there because it'll be fucking cracking.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see Clint finding the one can he didn't design, which is good. I think it's that and BB is the only cans that Clint hasn't designed. So
I seriously think Clint just like gets a can that he hasn't designed and just gets his Sharpie out, corrects it. Every time. He can't put it to his lips until he's had a bit of graffiti. And Kel's got it.
Every designer is on coke or whatever, but Clint has more productivity than anybody else, and he's on beer. He's on beer powered. That's fucking crazy.
Well, talking of being powered, I thought the Sunrays would be very good from Tallboy Moose, but Sunray XPA, Kelvin saying that it might be going down a sink. That is bold. I think I did pour a beer down a sink for the first time in ages last week. I'm trying to think what it was. It's actually like a trauma, so I've just blocked it out my mind.
Yeah, I haven't had a bad beer in a while. I had this nice. I took a photo in the group. If you're not in the group, join the Have a Beer Guest of the Year group, and you can talk beers and all that.
On Facebook, that is.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah. And there's a Pornhub section as well, but we'll do that. I had the dollar bill aged sour, very nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
A classic type sour, nothing crazy about it, just very nice.
Perfect. And we've got Daniel's drinking Cornella Brewery Sick Kent Best Bitter, which has piqued my interest for sure. That sounds amazing. Please give us a review as well. Shoot these into that as well. And 42nd episode, there better be some Broadway musical references tonight. And Sam Smalley, hello Sam. We've got Hop Nation IPA and pastry stout on the go.
That's nice.
Metamorphosis, Andrew. Well played. That is a solid beer.
Oh man, Joel really has the eagle. He's got the eagle. Oh my god, Joel wants to die tonight.
Oh, the Acacia.
Yeah, oof. The eagle. That is a bloody good beer, but it will rock you. It will rock you. I think I did it. Did I do an episode last year, Ian, on the eagle? And I definitely fly in the coop.
Yeah, I think the Acacia Eagle comes into play when lockdown for you individually is going very well or very badly. It's not like the beer that you just like middle of the road. Oh, it's Thursday night. So hope you're doing very well, Joel. And Mickey's asked as well, did I drink the beer from my backyard? For those of you who don't know, I was digging holes in my garden and found a Melbourne bitter, which apparently is from 2008 or 1998. Here it is, unopened. It is full with the old rusty cap on there. So, I mean, there's going to be an event in the future in real life where I think this is going to be sampled. Yes. I had a beer actually earlier this week. I had one of these, found Dark Times by Foreigner, which is black IPA. I actually got really excited, but it's a bit old, but it's tasting all right.
You bought me Foreigner at
Gabs? Yeah,
at Gabs. That was beautiful.
Yeah, the Foreigner Pilsner, absolutely sensational.
Guys, can we just actually take a moment to reflect here? How great was Gabs?
Yeah, good beer week. Being able to do that, it seems like such a distant memory. But Kappa, actually, you gave the best description of Foreigner Pilsner because I convinced you to have one, went over, got us a couple of beers, and you drank the Pilsner, and your first words out of your mouth, I don't know if you remember, were, "This is like the best Peroni I've ever tasted," which is a perfect description of Foreigner Pilsner. It's like it's Peroni on Steads.
Yes, Mickey, I am wearing a Manly Seagulls hat. We got destroyed by Storm last week. Destroyed. They're playing Roosters tomorrow night. I reckon we will beat them, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We really hurt. It was a big night, Ian. We got the prawn sandwiches. We ordered prawn. It was huge. And then we just watched our team get trampled, destroyed. Absolutely.
That's pretty sad.
I know.
We've got Clint as well saying that he prefers acid instead of Coke for productivity. And we've also got Michael drinking Captain Evil Eye and Fart Zuckerberg drinking Sailor's Grove's Corn Lager. Be interested to hear what that tastes like as well.
Yeah,
I haven't had a Sailor's Grove for a while.
Yeah.
And we should get started, Kappa, with Have a Beer, Guess the Year. It's a 42nd episode. You're on the clues tonight. Rumor had it that Noam Chomsky had researched the clues for you tonight. But I trust that you've had a good research.
Oh, mate, you never know. But it's time to have a beer. Guess the year. Ooh.
Just thought you should add some music there, Gavin.
Have a beer, guess the year. Have a beer, guess the year. All right. In this year, Ian, the United States' seventh largest airline files for bankruptcy.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of airlines over the years that have filed for bankruptcy. It's one of those businesses that I always wonder what it looks like when you go for a loan at the bank. You know, because the most would be small business, and you say, no, this one.
Yeah.
What do you need the money for? Well, I need a fleet of 32 Boeing 747s.
Oh man. Like, I don't know, you know, white men are terrible. Like, we're terrible people. We're the worst people in the world, but we do somehow get planes into the air. You know, I mean, probably on the backs of other people, you know, of women and other races. But to have the goal to start an airline or something like that is crazy. You've got to have self-confidence through the roof.
Yeah, I believe that Mazen Hazard from Hawkers. I'm sure I'm saying that completely wrong. Why did I mess that up so badly? Mazen from Hawkers in Resi, he used to run a low cost airline from Lebanon. Now,
is he crazy?
That is the thing of all the things I want to speak to him about. That's the thing I want to speak to him about the most.
Yeah.
I want to get him on the beer podcast to talk about airlines.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Oh God. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, that sounds like a guy, like he goes from owning a low budget airline to going to a brewery. Sounds like he'd have a lot of stories, Ian.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. What was the airline in Australia that went broke? I mean, there's been a couple, hasn't there? But what was the high profile one? Ansett
was the one that went broke. Yeah. No, it was. That was. I think I flew on Ansett a few times. Yeah.
I think Ansett did feature in a previous episode of Have a Beer Guest the Year, where it was they'd had a lawsuit or something against them, because they didn't allow women to be pilots.
Yes, that was a big one. Yeah, and I think the band, the Screaming Jets, was they went on the first Ansett flight and they got kicked off.
Wow.
Because they got absolutely blind.
Yeah. That's great, isn't it? We won't trust responsible people to fly the planes because they happen to be women.
Yeah.
We'll let any dickhead on.
Okay. Tornadoes. So tornadoes strike a number of southern states, from Louisiana to Pennsylvania to killing 36 people. So, man, this year, I've got to say, I don't want to give anything away, but Jesus Christ, there's a lot of bad stuff happens in this year. It's hard. It was hard to find some funny things that happened.
Can I lock in my guess now?
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Stroke 21. Very hard to find funny stuff that happens.
Oh man, yeah, it's really, this is one of those brutal years. Okay, all right. Well, okay. Kmart becomes the largest retailer in American history to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. That's an insurance company you don't want to work for, do you? When Kmart insures for bankruptcy.
Wow.
What's Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Is that when a company gets that big, if they go bankrupt, does that mean that it's the government's got to jump in, otherwise heaps of people lose jobs. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat. I'm not looking at the chat, so I won't know. So keep an eye out for that. But it's always, again, it's a suspicious one, isn't it? When somebody out of the blue goes into the insurance broker and says, I need this insurance and I need it now.
Yeah.
Does it cover me from yesterday? It's like,
you're like, Kmart, they're doing all right. They sell those cool plates. You can do rack off and, Kmart kind of, they've hit a real rise now. I remember when they were kind of junk, but now when we were kids, Ian, Kmart was kind of like, but now it's kind of, it's not, you could pass it as nice stuff.
They've really cornered the Chinese merchandise.
Yeah.
It's very
People
impressive.
Someone's dying somewhere to make those things for that prices, but anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, we shouldn't laugh.
Mickey said that have a big guess the year happened in 2020, so the year wasn't that bad. Thanks, Mickey.
Oh, yeah. Well, it might be very nice, Mickey, for you to be on the receiving end of this show, but the stoush between Kappa and I mean, we absolutely hate each other, but we just come together for this. Behind the scenes, as soon as we've logged off, it is fire. So it might look like fun, but it's not. Trust me.
Ian is Sting, and I'm the drummer from the Police. and I just keep hitting the drum harder, and it pisses him off more and more. You got to watch that drums documentary on Netflix. It's great. Yeah, it's really good. But they don't allude to any of that. But I know all the. I forget the guy's name, the drummer from the Sting.
Because what are you going to do about it? Sting, call the police.
There he goes.
Didn't he used to be a milkman? Sting.
Did he?
Used to be a milkman? Yeah, in the Northeast.
He's kind of annoying. He's kind of like a Bono-esque character.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those guys that wears like a leather necklace with one pendant at the end. You know what? You know those people. But he's already a handsome dude and a nice guy. He doesn't need that.
No.
Mate, just put a nice Billabong button-up shirt on. You'll be fine.
And also he's from one of the roughest industrial towns in the northeast of England. I mean, who's he trying to kid?
Oh, yeah, Stuart Copeland is his name. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew Gargan has let me know that. And Pete says the Target in Yass is now Kmart. So there you go. From one capitalist society to another.
Wow. Do you know, actually, Kappa, in Malvern, which is a very swanky suburb in Melbourne.
What an exotic suburb as well.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, the gridlock in Glenferrie Road is quite something. But the Melbourne Central shopping centre there, they used to have a Target and they changed it to David Jones.
Oh, really?
It must be the only time where they've like upgraded instead of, like normally you'd see like a Myer or a David Jones and it's like, oh, we actually pitched a bit too high here. We'll turn it into a Target or a Kmart. And they've got nobody shopping here because it's not quite expensive enough.
Pete, I also want to ask, the Target in Yass, was that a Target country? That's what I want to know.
I love a Target country.
Yeah.
Love a Target country.
Stuart D, he knows all of this stuff. He said that Stuart Copeland's brother, Stuart Copeland, the drummer, Miles Copeland, ran a record label and signed the Go-Go's. Love the Go-Go's.
Wow.
Belinda Carlisle. How good was Belinda Carlisle? What pop singer has guitar solos? Like Leave a Light On, for me, had that real I'm going to say a George Harrison type solo. A George Harrison, I don't know.
Arguably the best Beatle, George.
Yeah, George is my favorite as well, man. Yeah. His solo stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
All right. The Miss World pageant causes riots in Nigeria.
Oh,
I think I'm going to look further into this because I haven't looked further into this. I just saw this line. It was controversial in Nigeria after bloody clashes between Muslims and Christians because the Muslims deemed it to be blasphemous. I don't know. I must say, look, I'm not a religious guy, Ian. I'm an atheist, but I'm going to say religion's right about this one. Miss World sucks.
that is right. That is right.
The Christians and the Muslims are both right about this one. I am not. This is the one thing I can agree with both.
Yeah, the whole. What I don't understand is how they've got like Miss World, but they also have Miss the Universe. I mean, with that in itself, what are you competing in? I don't understand. I don't understand as well a qualification of looking nice as well. It's not a qualification. It's just happens to be what happened. It's like when people say, "Oh, I'm a proud Australian," or "I'm a proud." Nobody says they're proud to be British, surely, but I'm a proud American or whatever. It's like, how can you be? You just fell out at the right, at a particular spot on the world. I don't understand it. I'm willing to be educated on it.
It seems like your dad or your granddad trying to do feminism. He's just like, yeah, we get the prettiest ones, and they care about the world. We give them a place to speak for a while,
Wearing a sash, yeah, just to have,
you don't get that from me.
Moment in the sun, That's it. If you try really hard in school, you've got to be careful because you might not qualify for Miss World. It's like, tone it down, love. Stop trying so hard.
Oh, don't be a scientist, miss. Study hard. You're a pretty woman. You'll be Miss World someday. Okay. Andrew Gargan. He's on fire tonight. He said Belinda Carlisle was in an illegal rave on the banks of Loch Lomond in the 90s.
Loch Lomond. Oof. Do you know how Andrew knows that? It's because he was there. He would have been there. Please answer if you were there. I want to know. Yeah. I want to know. And I want to know how close she got to Belinda Carlisle. And did she visit the town that's not far away from Loch Lomond, which is the town of Carlisle? Because I think that would have been quite sweet.
Ian, I just finished this Frank Moses Red IPA.
Oh, beautiful.
From Ocean Beach Brewing. I had to look at the can. I forgot the name of the place. But this is a really nice kind of watery red IPA. Really nice. I bloody enjoyed it.
Yeah. Ocean Reach. Those of you who are interested in the can design can listen to a previous episode of the Chosen Brew podcast with can designer Jesse Youngawala. Not as good as Clint, obviously.
Are you saying that there's another can designer in Australia?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I honestly don't know how Clint does it. I follow him on Instagram, and he does logos for cafes and stuff. And usually someone slips up. I'm a graphic designer. I'm friends with graphic designers. Usually you see him slip up every now and then. I'm not pissing your pocket, Clint, but you really don't slip up, and it's annoying. It's annoying me. I'm waiting. He's
good. He's actually told me a secret as well, which is he's got a special internet browser and he searches defunct brands of beer around the world and then just takes them off as his own. That would be very good, Clint. I know you don't do that, but
yeah, he finds breweries in third world countries that are unheard of and takes their label.
Do you know one of the most stolen brand designs from around the world has been Bolter? That Bolter smile and the rectangle is on so many, like soy milk, coffee beans.
Oh, yeah.
It's on so many things. And even the toothpaste color design on the XPA. It's quite amazing how many.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, you see it everywhere. Yeah, I'm designing a logo for my local cafe at the moment. It's driving me crazy. I might have to ask Clint for some info. Right? Okay. Andrew says that he might have even sort of organised the illegal rave.
I imagine Sting wasn't there because you wouldn't want the police close to an illegal rave.
Okay, in this year, a shootout took place between Caracas Metropolitan Police and the pro-government Bolivian circles in central Caracas in Venezuela.
Oh,
near the presidential palace. Yeah, so
it always does it strike you as strange that anywhere would have a presidential palace? You know, if you're democratically elected, surely you can't have a palace. Surely it's a house. Like,
yeah,
you know, a palace it's for royal people, isn't it?
Yeah.
A presidential palace is muddying the waters. I don't like it. Stop it, South America.
I reckon, you know, if I'm ever rich, I will buy a presidential palace. One that's not being just to rub it in the face of that country that I'm living there. And I'm not doing much.
Nice.
I'm riding my mountain bike. I'm drinking beers. I'm not.
I'm sure the people of Wellington will appreciate that.
Okay. All right. I'm just telling my partner to bring me another beer.
I wondered what admin you were doing there. It's
very important stuff. All right.
Would you like this one?
Also, yeah, that's not a thing she does all the time. Okay.
Yeah, but she'd previously entered Miss World.
Yeah.
You did all the paperwork for her.
She's my Miss World.
Oh, you creep.
Did you see the tradies ute in Adelaide was flat out knockoff of Pirate Life? Oh yeah, there's a Pirate Life branding that took tradies ute. Says Fart Zuckerberg. Okay, let's do more clues. Fuck, I better pick this up. But we're just having a good time, aren't we, Clint? I mean, Ian. Oh no, I mixed the two, beer barons up. What's gonna happen here?
Look, you know, it's often been said that Clint and I could well be brothers.
Actually,
it's never been said.
Actually, speaking of Clint, he should do one of his bloody beer nights again. They were fun. Watching Clint get shit-faced. I don't think it was good for his mental health, but it was great for us.
It was, yeah. I think he should. I think he should pay that sacrifice for the greater good.
He cut his hair in one, and it was really funny.
The hot chili special. I don't know if you saw that one, Catherine, but the hot chili special with him and Gus was something very, very special. But maybe we could organise something in the Have a Beer Guest of the Year group with Clint. Get him organised.
All right. Okay.
Maybe Andrew could organise an illegal rave.
Yeah.
As long as you get Belinda Carlisle to turn up, I'll be there.
Is there a loophole where we could, 5 vaxxed people, but we kind of quadrant off those 5 areas? So we're all kind of, there's 20 of us. We split into 4 tables.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could do it if we got, say, for example, if we had some Yui Boom speakers, and we could link them up to the same device. Yeah. And so we could all listen. But sadly, I won't be able to do that for 5 weeks because I had my AstraZeneca last week. It was the quickest I could get it. The quickest. I took one for the team because I'm in the danger zone of the blood clot.
Really?
Took one for Australia. And
Mate.
now I'm being punished for it because I can't go out. I can only meet up with one other person. That's so sad. So sad. So I'm
I thought I wasn't going to be able to go till the 20th of October. But then my friend Brett Blake, a guy that you would not take medical advice, told me to get this app, Hot Docs, and I'm able to get my second jab on the 29th of September. So I'll be done. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm excited. All right. Illegal rave. Yes, everyone's loving this. Clint says he might start a live poetry reading with beers.
I remember.
You shouldn't do any live Zooms. Maybe you should just.
I actually did a poem on one of Clint's live streams. I did. I honestly did. I used to terrorize Clint, I think, because I used to insist on having my say during, completely uninvited. And I actually they had some Molly Rose beers, and I said that I'd written a poem about Molly Rose. And I don't know if Clint remembers this, but I said the poem goes, Molly Rose sat on a pin, Molly Rose.
There you go. Now that is good.
See, so look, you can have your poetry nights, but
yeah,
if you come for the king.
Well, see, we don't need it now, Clint. You know.
If we do a poetry night instead of an illegal rave, I'll be devastated. If we link up Yui Booms for the purposes of poetry, I'll be so upset.
Okay. All right. Apparently, there's not much of a risk of blood clots in the latest British journey. Thanks, British Journal. Clint says the Hot Dogs app is good for him. So good, you got the Hot Dogs app. He's all vaxxed and fed. Stuart D's had a technical issue. He says he's 30 seconds behind, so you'll get this 30 seconds from now. Stuart, take care of yourself. 30 seconds ago, as our visitors from 30 seconds ago. Anyway, all right, let's have a go at some more stuff. The NVSat environmental satellite is launched with the purpose of recording information on environmental change. Now, I know this won't be big for you, Ian, but all the people in our group probably know this, and that kind of annoys me that I might have given it away.
Yeah, no, I don't know about this, but I know that previously we've had a couple of questions about obscure or clues about obscure satellites that fired up the chat, because I didn't realize the satellite things was a big thing. When satellites go up, I don't really pay much attention.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
All right, Ian. Now, I'm going to give you something a bit more, something you can grab onto, I guess. Are you in the ballpark yet?
Is this you trying to do dirty talk?
Yeah. Yeah. Going to give you something you can grab onto. Eric Clapton marries his American girlfriend in a surprise wedding ceremony at a church in the English village of Ripley, Surrey.
Didn't Eric Clapton steal George Harrison's?
Yeah, that's what Layla was written about, I think.
I
think she was with someone else as well.
Okay. But what wasn't this is one of the reasons George is one of my favorite Beatles, because didn't apparently George said, oh, look, you don't choose who you fall in love with. Fair enough. You can. And then didn't Eric Clapton recently get in the news because he wrote a song which was anti-vax stuff?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I believe so. He put it on YouTube, put a new song out.
I think when you get that rich, you just go crazy, don't you, in these times? That's what we figured out. Everyone rich gone. Rich celebrities are going crazy.
Yeah. I particularly loved, I'm not saying he's crazy, but Elton John did a version of I'm Still Standing when he was sat down at the piano. And it is quite something. Just you'll have to YouTube it after this. But Elton John, I'm Tiltanding is just magnificent. Yeah, all right, go on, give me something to hold on to, Kappa.
Okay. Going to give you something else to grab onto.
Gonna hold on to it like a $1.50 plate from Kmart.
Mount Nyiragongo erupts in the Democratic Republic of Congo, displacing an estimated 400,000 people. Okay,
that's not helpful.
And that has not helped you out at all.
I'm actually a bit of a loss on this one. I haven't even got really a ballpark for this one.
Okay. A penumbral lunar eclipse was visible in Eastern Asia, Australia, Pacific, and Western Americas. The penumbral lunar eclipse had a penumbral magnitude of 0.68933.
Actually, talking of eclipse, Andrew, if you're still with us, if Belinda Carlisle's not available, Bonnie Tyler would be fine by me.
Okay. All right. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Beautiful track.
Yeah.
Beautiful track.
Also, she can make your bathroom look absolutely brilliant. She's very good. Very good with the grouting.
God damn it. I knew it was coming. I was like, where is this going? And I knew it. All right. I better hurry this up.
Come on, fire some clues.
Okay.
Give us a few in one go.
The Open Skies Mutual Surveillance Treaty officially enters into force.
Open Skies. There was a thing with George W. Bush about Star Wars program. Something like that. Maybe it was before then.
Okay.
Go on. Keep going.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. I'm just going to see. What else we could kind of this. Yeah. All right. This is going to be big. This could trigger some people. Severe acute respiratory syndrome epidemic begins in Guangdong, province of mainland China.
Oh, it's a very, very neat, discreet delivery, that as well. Didn't even take a photograph of your license, your photo ID, check your age. What's the drive-by Kappa there? What is it? What beer is it?
Oh, well, this one I think has been designed by Clint, and it's the 2 Rupees Brewing Company.
Is Clint giving us enough money for all of this?
I do
promo.
I do want to taste this because I think it's in Clayton. I thought it was in Richmond, but it's not.
Yeah, 2 Rupees, Sri Lankan brewers, owners, very nice chaps.
I would love to
nice
go to
beer.
Sri Lanka. Would love it. It sounds, all of my mates that are Sri Lankan, good people. Besides Mike Goldstein, the person I do my Phone Hacks podcast with, he's ashamed of Sri Lanka, really.
Yeah. Dilruk Jaisingha, he's Sri Lankan, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Good bloke.
Yeah.
Nazim Hussain, great guy.
Sadly, Dilruk gave up beer.
No, not sadly for him. I reckon he's having a great time.
They probably saved his life.
Without it, yeah. All right. Okay, Paramount Pictures reveals a new on-screen logo to celebrate its 90th anniversary.
Oh, that's 90th. So Paramount Pictures. Oh, it's a pretty strong clue. Trying to work back. Go on, hit me with another.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with a. Israeli forces besieged the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem when militants took shelter there. The siege would last for 38 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's that's a part of the world.
This is the. I'm out of nice facts now. There's a lot of facts here, which is fucking brutal.
Look, where was that in Bethlehem? It was in the.
I'm trying to just have a look here. Yeah,
because
in Bethlehem. Yeah, the Church of Nativity.
The Church of the Nativity.
Yeah.
So if Andrew, if you're still with us, if you can organise an illegal rave in the Church of the Nativity, I am keen as mustard for that. That would be fantastic. And if it lasted 38 days, I think we'd be breaking new records. Go on,
all right.
Let's give us another clue, and we'll be getting close to locking in guesses.
South African Mark Shuttleworth blasts off from the Bokoni Cosmodrome on the Soyuz TM-34, becoming the first African space tourist.
What? African space tourist?
Yeah.
That sounds like a Hollywood film in the 1980s.
Yeah. That sounds like The Gods Must Be Crazy goes into space or something.
That is...
I don't know why that sounds funny. Yeah.
Go on, give us a couple more.
Okay. Yeah, Stuart D's like, Israeli forces did something atrocious. That narrows it down like it's an Olympic year. A few people put in their guesses. All right. So let's have a look here. Switzerland joins the United Nations as the 190th member state after rejecting a place in 1986.
That's interesting. Switzerland's joining the United Nations. It's weird as well. Like Great Britain tried to join the European Union, I think 6 times before they got accepted as well. So desperate were they to get in. And Europe are like, no, thanks. Nah, you're all right. Nah. And then they said, yeah. And then 40 years. And then they went, see ya.
Because it started as oil and gas, right?
Yeah, it started as it was the European Steel Community.
Yeah.
Coal and steel, I think it was.
Coal and steel, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oil and gas.
Yeah.
I was so close.
it's all commodities. But yeah, that's pretty wild. Join the United Nations. I wonder what prompted them to do that. Do you think they had to join the United Nations to allow Toblerones to be sold in international airports? It's like, so you have to. Toblerone. All right, go on. Give us one more if you've got one.
All right. One more? Fuck. All right. Jesus. A lot of stuff happened in this year that could give it away. So I'm just trying to give you something that's a little bit more. Okay. What about this? I'll give you 2 more. This one might not help you out too much. Earth Summit begins in Johannesburg in South Africa, aimed at discussing sustainable development by the United Nations.
Okay. Do you remember they had the Earth Day or Earth Hour or something where everyone was supposed to switch off your stuff for?
Yeah.
And then they had like an Earth Hour concert or something, but it was rubbish. It was like, thanks if it lasted like 4 hours, the concert as well. It was like, okay, you told us just to turn our tellies off for an hour, but now 5 hours, thanks. Have people locked in their guesses? What a wild time to freeze just before the murderer is about to be uncovered. Kappa is frozen. It's almost like this was planned. I can't believe it's, sometimes it's hard to tell as well when you're on a Zoom call where the person is frozen or they're so inanimate that you think, maybe it's just they've just paused themselves. They've stayed still themselves. And there is have a big year. We may never know what the answer was. I'm fully aware that I'm talking to myself. I can't even look in the chat to see what year because it'll give it away. I'm kind of and ahhing about this one. It sounds to me like it's could be the late 90s or the noughties, maybe even more recent. I mean, Kappa's clues were quite obscure, which makes me think that it's more modern because so many things would give it away. Kind of thinking maybe around something like 2005. I really don't know. I really don't know whether Kappa's going to come back. He did say he's got another podcast to do after this, but what could be more important than giving the answer? I really don't know what to do now. I'll just talk to myself. Andrew, if you're watching, I actually found this today. This is a little sweatband from Celtic's first British team to win the European Cup. So don't use that clue in future Kappa about which first British team won the European Cup, because it's 1967, as we can see, in Lisbon. Don't know why I've got those. It's 2 sweatbands, Glasgow Celtic. Who knows whether Kappa's going to come back? We shall see. I suppose I'll have to wait maybe till 9:20. It's 9:18 now. Maybe I'll wait 2 more minutes and then I can open the chat and then we'll see. It's our 42nd episode. We're being very professional all the way through. Yes, long-term watchers will know we're so professional with everything that we do. This is something that has been thrown into the mix. We didn't know it was going to happen. Kappa froze, then he just dropped out. I think he had Pfizer as well, so I'm not worried that he's going to die of the same fate as I inevitably will. And the sad thing about my pending blood clot is that I'll only have one other person there to save me potentially in my 4 hours exercise, and not the 5 people, one of whom could be a doctor. So we will see. If you're still watching, I don't even know if you're still watching, but if you're still watching, please do catch up with all the episodes of the Wheel of Sport podcast, which is available at all of the yes, Stuart's just text me. I've just seen him text. I should lock in my guess and then I can open the chat. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Thank you. I wasn't thinking clearly on my own. I was a bit like Gladys Berejiklian. I need not to be doing this to have a clear head. All right, let's lock in the guess. I'm going to lock in, I don't know, 2000. I'm torn between 2005 or 2009. But I'm going to accept this one I'm not close with. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to go for 2005. So I'm going to lock that in. I'm going to open the chat. So let's see. Where is the chat? 2005. I don't know whether to compare it. Whether has anybody been Googling the facts? Can anyone Google the fact and find out one of the events and the year that it actually happened and put it in its whole Kappa's back? G'day. He's muted himself. so beautifully sweet. Kappa.
Man, my internet has been terrible the last few days.
Look, it's fine. I wouldn't say I did well in the last 2 minutes, but we did talk.
Okay, great.
So, all right. But what I did, Kappa, I locked in my guess. I locked in 2005.
Okay.
I accepted that I'm going to be a little bit of a way out, I think, with this one. But 2005, I'm locking it in.
Okay, 2005. Well, the year was, Ian, I did make it hard for you. I reckon you've done pretty well because it was 2002.
Oh, 2002. Yeah. Oh, that is
2002.
Well, that is a good. It's interesting actually that one of the clues was about open skies, and that put me in the George W. Bush era. But yeah. I thought it was called something else. I thought it was called Star Wars. I thought they were that unimaginative. They just called it.
So much stuff happened in this year that really could have given away. It was when the Chechen rebels invaded the lecture, the university, the 2001 what is it? The NASA ship went up. Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Golden Jubilee. There was the World Cup. There was a lot of terrorism. I think it was after September 11th, a couple of years after. So people were really getting on this terrorist thing. There was a Palestinian suicide bomber that killed 30 people. There were so many big events in this year that made it really hard. China Airways flight breaks up. 2002 FIFA World Cup.
Where was the World Cup 2002? I'm trying to remember.
It was in Korea, wasn't it? Or,
Japan and South Korea. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's wild.
Stuart D got it right. Kelv thought it was 2003, but guessed against our illegal rave operator and went 2002. So Craig P 2004. Joel was worried that we were going to be here all night. He was flying like an eagle as well. But yeah, wow. So good.
So that was I made it really hard. I wanted to fly close to the sun.
I've heard it's easier to do that at night time.
Yeah. You moron. I love it, brother.
Dear.
Yeah, but it was I tried to keep but it was a really hard one, man, because do you find this now, Ian, that our listeners, our viewers are smart. They're really smart people. So you want to give clues away, but you can't really give clues away because it might give the whole thing away. So you get one of those years where it's very divisive. That year was so divisive. Like if I told you some of those clues I just told you, it would have just given away immediately.
Yeah, it's a real hard balance to decide which ones which ones are going to be the real ones that people just go. So even for say for any major incident, like obviously start of the World Wars or like the Titanic, when the Titanic sunk, those things are clearly World Cups, presidents, even, probably to a lesser extent prime ministers. I think you'd probably throw in some old people won't necessarily know the years that John Curtin was in power, but it is a real balance. And I think particularly what you did well tonight was And one thing that I thought it gave it away in itself, that it was more modern, because it was so difficult to pin down the clues, because there wasn't any big ticket items. So I knew it was going to be in the noughties or beyond, just because of that. So, but we've got plenty of people. SARS was one of those things. But Kaleidoscope was saying that SARS was released in 2002. It wasn't an album. It was it's an epidemic. It got popular in 2003.
It really took off in 2020. Really, their follow-up, their follow-up album.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, that was a big one.
It was a bit like ABBA coming back. It took a while, but things like, as well, like hottest 100 songs and things like that, because obviously if it's to do with people's personal experiences, particularly teenage and like your formative years, you remember much more succinctly, I think, and definitely. But yeah,
Dan, thanks for looking out for me. You got concerned and said he called the police. So don't worry about it, Daniel. I'm here. I'm fine.
Don't worry. If you get Sting comes around in an hour, it's fine.
Kelvin says the tall boy moose did end up in the sink, but hey, I reckon that's probably the first ever sink pour from tall boy moose. Can't get them all right. But he said that Mr. Banks came to the rescue. How good are Mr. Banks? So good.
Great.
Both great.
Great. Hey, wouldn't it be great to go with the Have a Beer Guest Year crew and go around some of those breweries, in the southeast, Mr. Banks, go to Boat Rocker, Bad Shepherd, Grape and Grain. Hey, we can dream. We can dream. We can also, if we can get Belinda Carlisle on the minibus.
How many people in Have a Beer Guest Year have bikes? Because we could all ride together.
We could.
As long as we're riding, it's exercise.
We're not going to ride down an Nepean highway, but we could. We could rendezvous somewhere. Obviously, probably, within reason. I know there's some people who live a little bit further than 10 k's out of the city, but we could definitely do something. Hopefully, maybe around Christmas time, and go on a little bike ride around somewhere, or rendezvous in the city, and then we'll spin around. And we can get the UE boom going, get the police pumping out.
Oh, mate, it's great.
Belinda Carlisle, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Amazing.
And guys, I've got to say, it's great to hang with a bunch of people that support their local places. I'm filling up my growler tomorrow at the retreat. And I follow you guys, a lot of you guys on Instagram and stuff. You're all filling up at your local breweries and stuff, the little places. I've got to say, full respect to that. Full respect. However, I am going to drink an American beer now.
Drink local. But please do, if you're new to Have a Beer Guest Year, please do join us in our Facebook group. Just search Have a Beer Guest Year. Kappa is the admin, so he will decide whether you can get in or not. And we will see you next time. Looks like we're going to be locked down a little bit longer. The curfew is still in place, so we'll be here every Thursday as the situation unfolds. And maybe, Kappa, our 50th episode is in just 8 weeks. Maybe.
If we are out then, man, we had some really good times last year where did we do with the West Side Ale Works? That was so fun.
So fun. We did the Prince Alfred in Port Melbourne. We did
fun. We
did the Royal Mail Hotel.
Oh yeah, they were great.
Yeah, so many good times. But look, we will get back to it. But 8 weeks, it could be the 50th episode. There could be something to celebrate.
I think we've got to do something big.
It could be online. It could be in person. Who knows? But Kappa,
who knows?
Well played. Played a blinder again. And we will see you all next time, 8:30 Thursday night on the Beer Together channel. Hell, at least one of your friends, or maybe 5 at the picnic, you can tell them about this strange old show that we're lasting 42 episodes. We'll see you next time.
It's my life now. I'm not changing.
See you, everyone.